Once again, I'm your host, Ellen Motos, for this next game, which is Alcahest with Spiriax. We're ready to go. Take it away.
Great. So, hello, welcome everyone. I'm so glad to be featured on RPG Limit Break 2023. I'm Spiriax. I'm mostly known for Alundra, but today I'm going to show you Alcahest. And so with that, I'm going to let my commentator introduce himself.
Hello, I'm Van. I'm also mostly known for Alundra, but today I'm joining Spiriax on the commentary for Alcahest. Basically, Alcahest is an SNES RPG which was only released in Japan in 1993. And with that, I guess...
Yeah, let's start the countdown. So I'm gonna do the classic 3, 2, 1, go. So let's get ready in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
All right, take it away. Thank you.
All right, so in Alcahest we play as a hero called Alan. Essentially in the game, which you will see from basically the very beginning, there are two different types of tiles, the speed and the launch tiles. You will see the launch tiles here, which is a major gimmick of the game. Essentially, you need to attack a block and then the launch tiles appear. And then when you step on them, you will get launched onto a different part of the map. In the beginning here, we do a quick little detour to pick up a Holy Cup, which is used later for a skip. Essentially, a Holy Cup is just an auto-revive once you die. So this character here is Garstein. He is one of 4 partners which you will see in the game. And partners are essentially abilities that you can use with the SP, which you can see in the bottom left corner of the screen. Right now we don't have any, but we will pick up some very soon. Right there you saw the first speed tile of the game. So we're almost up to the first boss, but just a quick detour to pick up the Aura Blade here, which will be very prominently used on boss fights. You will see with the Aura Blade, which is essentially like if you have an Aura Blade, you can shoot projectiles with your sword to make quick success with this boss. The reward for killing this boss is an air mask, which you will need to enter this cave here. Also, when you enter this cave, Garstein appears again and he finally joins you for real as your first partner. As I talked about the SP abilities, Garstein is really slow, the animation is quite long, and also the attack isn't that strong, so you won't really see it in the run. Also, another thing you will see here is when Spiriax goes above launch and speed tiles, he can damage enemies. And he's also invincible during that, and he will use them mostly to go through enemies that are in his way. In this cave there are 3 major items, a torch, a hammer and ice boots, which are basically required to beat this cave. But since we picked up the Holy Cup and we want to do a skip with it, we skip all 3 of those items. Essentially what we are going to do is we step on those lava tiles which deal damage on it when you step on them, and we get revived with the Holy Cup, so we can skip over this entire section. As you saw right there, with the Holy Cup you get quite a long time of invincibility frames after it triggers. And this is already the boss of the first stage. The boss is called Lava Golem, and as you can see in the arena there's also a chest right there with another Aura Blade. You will basically pick up the Aura Blade and then make quick work of this boss as well. I also should mention that the Aura Blade is only temporary, so that's why he needed to pick up a second one there. Yeah, that's essentially stage 1 already.
Quick mention is that the music is Jun Ishikawa, the same composer as the Kirby games, so please enjoy the music.
Oh yeah, the music is fantastic in this game. So the reward you get here is a permanent HP up, but also the Flame Guardian. He is one of 4 Guardians that you will pick up. Essentially what Guardians do, they will allow you to switch colors. As you can see right there, we switch to a red color. But they also have abilities. For example, your dash attack changes depending on which Guardian you have equipped. But they also have an MP attack, which the MP is, as you can see in the bottom right of the screen. And the Flame Guardian is a really strong attack. You will see lots of him later on bosses. But for right now, we are in stage 2 and we enter a town which is attacked by the Empire, the main evil villain of this game. Right here you see some riders with Gordon leading it. You will see more of Gordon later. This green dude here is called Babylon. He's also an evil magician of the Empire. You will also see more of him later. But for now we are going to enter the sewers because... Well, no, first we're going to enter the palace, of course. But all of the doors are locked here. So we need to go to a fallen knight here, which was killed by the Empire. We pick up a key that allows us access to the sewers because, of course, no RPG without sewers, right?
Correct.
So in the sewers, Spirax is going to dash a lot. Basically, if you want to dash, you need to double tap the direction. And as long as you're dashing, you're moving really fast. But if you bonk into a wall, there's quite a lot of knockback and it's a really slow animation, so he wants to avoid that. So right here he presses a switch to lower the water so he can progress in the sewers. And I guess it's also a good time to talk about the HUD in general. In the top left we have an EXP bar, but it's actually not what you would think from an RPG. There is no leveling up in this game. EXP just means score, and also the next in the top right of the screen is also just more score related stuff. In the center at the top there are basically your lives. Right now he has 5 lives. So sometimes you'll also see him pick up some chests along the way. Basically, most of the time he picks up a chest. It's pretty much to refill one of his 3 major things like HP, SP or MP. But right here he picks up the key which is required to progress in the palace. Also in the palace, he will first start to use the charge attack. Basically in this game there is a charge attack for your regular attack, but you don't need to charge it all the way. You can do it, but you don't need to. And it helps you to go through enemies rather quickly without taking damage. And right there we picked up the warp plate, which allows you to warp by touching those stone pedestals. Our next goal is to pick up some more permanent HP and MP upgrade in this room up here in this corner. Yep. So and up right next to the door to the right there's Princess Elixir. She's the new partner. She replaces Garstein, which left us after the first stage. She's actually one of the best partners in the game, if not the best, because her ability is to heal, and also if you're on low HP, she uses an auto heal on you. But yeah, I talked about Gordon earlier, so here he is. Our first boss in this stage. And as I told you, we will use the Flame Guardian a lot. You will see what he can do on this boss to make quick work of it. I think Spirax likes to call his attack the Hadouken.
Yeah. That was okay.
Yeah, so not all of the bosses are going to look like this. Some will take much longer than this. But yeah, there we picked up a Sage Stone, which is an auto MP and SP refill when one of them is empty. And this is already the next boss, Babylon, which we saw before. Well, I would say that, but he kinda left the scene again and left us with 4 knights that he revived. So we gotta take care of them first. For now, Babylon is just here to cause a lot of trouble and give us a headache. So for this boss, this is the first boss that has more than one phase. Babylon is back and summons a Dark Dragon, which we need to fight right now. Dark Dragon is also the final boss of the second stage. And yeah, as I said, more of the Flame Guardian. Right there he also uses a combo of the Flame Guardian's Hadouken and the charge attack. Again, the Guardians need MP, and since he's out of MP he needs to finish the boss off with the charge attack.
Okay.
Alright, now that we defeated the Dark Dragon, there is a Dragon Head that popped up, and he wants to place the Princess very close to it. But first we get a reward, which is the Aqua Guardian. The Aqua Guardian is pretty good as well, as it has 2 orbs that surround you that can shoot in every cardinal direction. But also the charge attack of the Aqua Guardian is the strongest attack in the game, because there's also kind of a glitch, we are not sure if it's intended or not, where when you charge dash, the attack turns into a really strong version of itself. But yeah, right now you see why the princess was supposed to be close to the Dragon Head, because the Dragon Head launches after dying towards the princess and turns her into stone. And with
You can
that,
also hit the
we are
Dragon Head to make it move faster, come closer to you, which is quite funny.
Oh yeah, right. With that we are already up to the 3rd stage. And the 3rd stage is just a bit of using the launch tiles and the speed tiles to get through the screen really quick. And right into the first boss, the Mountain Bandit Gavaris. Right here you want to switch between two Guardians, which you can do on the fly. Basically you want to use the charge attack from Aqua and the summon attack on the Flame Guardian. And yeah, that's how strong the charge attack from Aqua is. The boss stood no chance. And the reward is the hammer, which we were already supposed to get in Act 1. Basically it's a one-time use per act, but we get another one here so we can destroy some more cracked walls. So the ogres here in those rainy screens, they are really dangerous. They deal a lot of damage if you get hit by them, so you want to avoid them. And as you see, he will use the Flame Guardian to make sure they stand no chance to even get a hold of him. So before this next boss that is coming up, he will pick up an elixir, which is essentially a full HP, MP and some extra SP. Because he will definitely need those resources on the next boss. The boss here is Zara and Gaza, but he only needs to defeat Gaza, which is the blue one on the left. And he will do that by just using the Flame Guardian twice.
There we go.
Yeah, that's already the boss. And we saw a bit of Babylon there again. So yeah, right now he needs to pick up a small key, which allows him to progress further into the fortress. But yeah, there are the ogres again. So I guess this is a good time for the host maybe to plug some upcoming things.
Oh, sure. I thought since this game isn't in English, we should send out some thanks to the people involved in our foreign language restreams. The French restream can be found at twitch.tv/lefrenchrestream and our Japanese stream at twitch.tv/Japanese_restream. If those restreams can help you enjoy the marathon, go check them out and send them some love.
Agreed.
Alright, so where Spirix is heading to now is to Sirius the Knight. He's basically the protector of Elixir the Princess. And right here you see him trying to fight Gordon, but he gets trapped by him since Gordon is...
A jerk.
Well, he's a pretty big jerk, yeah. You will see more of that later in the game. And now he joins you as a partner. His SP ability is not too useful, although we will use it here to drain a bit of SP in this screen. And as you saw, there was also Garstein right here. Garstein is in chains, so we need a key to free him. And the key is in this very room that we are in right now. And again, just to remind you, when Spirax opens chests, it's mostly to just pick up a quick refill along the way. So right there he picked up the key. Yep. And right there he picked up the key to free Garstein again. Which he gives you a detector item, which is used to see hidden paths, although I should say more like one hidden path. Which is right outside of Garstein's room. I guess it's also a good time to mention that bosses have iframes after attacks, so you want to make sure to only hit them with your strongest attacks if possible. Also, this is, I guess, a bit of inspired by Mega Man. I guess you can see where it comes from. It's basically a set pattern and you just need to remember where to go. Nothing too big. So soon we are going to see our old friend Babylon again, but this time he's not alone. He is joined by the Emperor of the Empire. But, as usual, they are going to flee, at least for now. And we are faced with Zera again, which we saw earlier. For this fight, this also has two phases. In the first fight we used the Aqua Summon, which means we can stand still and shoot our projectiles. Which is very useful, because there's also a mechanic where if you stand still, you can use your shield to block incoming attacks. So the Aqua Summon is really useful for that on this boss. Basically you just stand still, block everything, use the Aqua Summon. On phase 2 it's the dashing charge attack again for even more damage. So yeah, there's the second phase. This boss is supposed to be really tanky actually, but as you see the charged Aqua attack, it deals a lot of damage on this boss. Usually this fight is supposed to take much longer. So, as you already guessed, this is the final boss of this stage, and as per usual, we are going to get our partner taken away. This time, it's in a bit of an unusual way. Sirius is a magician, as I already told you, but he will use mind control on Sirius here. So he will leave us for now and join the Empire. And with that, we are going into the fourth stage, which starts off, unfortunately, with a 1-minute auto-scroller, so I guess that's also a good time for the host to plug some things.
Sure thing. First off, I've got a $25 anonymous donation that says, wanted to help a good cause. No idea what this Chimera fight with rainbows is, but sounds silly enough, I want to see it. And that is a reference to an incentive for the next game, Golden Sun Dark Dawn. We've already met the incentive to fight the Star Magician, and we're only $44 away from meeting the incentive to fight that Chaos Chimera. So get him in. Don't forget to select the incentive.
That's great. Thanks, everyone.
Alright, now we enter the Sky Fortress and Garstein joins us once more as a partner. For now our goal here is to make our way to Sirius, which we have to unfortunately fight since he is mind controlled by Babylon still. And as you saw on the last boss Zera already, we will use the Aqua Summon here again to stand still and block the incoming attacks. So it's not too difficult of a fight again. And essentially what Garstein tries to do here, he tries to free Sirius of his mind control from Babylon. That's why he is present there as well. Alright, that was a pretty good fight.
Yeah.
And now that we defeated Sirius, Garstein finally makes him free of his mind control and sends him back to his hometown so he can recover there. Alright, there we picked up the ID card, which is used for the elevators in the Sky Fortress, which we need to go to next. But also you will first see Garstein's regular attack, which has an homing ability. And it's really useful here. As you can see, it just homes from one enemy to the next one and kills all of them. Right there, those are the elevators which you needed the ID card for. And why did we need to go up here? Well, there is a key sitting in this chest that we need to progress even further. And there will be more of Garstein's homing attack coming up in just a second, right there. Just looks so satisfying.
Yeah.
So there's another elevator, and after this we will enter a room with basically crushing walls, and we will just damage boost through them, because otherwise it would take too long. And conveniently there's an HP refill at the end of this room. So this room is basically launch tiles, the room. There are so many launch tiles, and Spirex will use them to try to attack incoming enemies and not take damage from them. He also picked up a aura plate there, so he can have homing attacks to reach even further. So right here, this cyborg in the wall, he's called Magna. He is for some reason against the Empire, and he tells us we need to find a photon power, because right now he's stuck and can't move. So we are off to fight the next boss, Karush, Blade General of the Empire. And he tells us he owns the Dispel Potion, which we need to free the Princess Elixir. This boss is also made very quick work of with the Flame Guardian. And now that we defeated the boss, we will get the Dispel Potion. And because one boss wasn't enough, we are going to fight the next boss right up here already, in the next room. But first he picks up some items to regain his stats again. The next boss is not Babylon, but the Emperor itself, actually. And the optimal strat here is to use the Flame Guardian. And preferably, when you will see the fight start, there will be small heads surrounding the Emperor. You don't want to hit them, but the Emperor directly. But as I said, the optimal strat is the Flame Guardian, although it's very risky, so we will see how this fight will go.
Holy Cup.
Alright, yep. Had to use the Holy Cup there. But then made quick work of the boss. Nice. That was a pretty good fight.
Thanks.
And the reward for this boss is the Wind Guardian, the next Guardian you get. The Wind Guardian is a bit special compared to the Flame and Aqua Guardian because it uses 2 MP to cast the summon power. And also you get the photon power from the Emperor, which is used to free Magna, the cyborg. Oh, I'm also having chat open on the side. Someone said Disco Potion. No, I meant Dispel Potion. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, basically after defeating the Emperor, a self-destruct mechanism launches. But freeing Magna here means he is able to provide us with an escape route by destroying the wall he came from. And that's already the end of this stage. On to stage 5, where we get joined by Magna as our next partner. And this stage actually has a huge skip. But first, he will pick up more permanent MP. So basically also in this game, in some of the chests, there are permanent MP HP upgrades that you can pick up. And some extra SP as well. So those conveyor belts, once you step on them, you're supposed to lose movement. But right here he charges up the dash ability, and at this time he can basically propel himself from them and pick up the bell item. Which is essentially a pretty huge sequence break in this stage. Saves about 2 minutes. Oh no, sorry, not the bell, the talisman. I'm sorry about that. It skips 2 other items, some cutscenes, and even a boss. It was found by Chatham at this point. Shoutouts to Chatham. He made the task of this game not too long ago. If you're interested in this game, I can only recommend to watch that on YouTube. Again, the name of the Tazza was Chatham. So right there he picked up an elixir right before the boss. And this time we are going to fight Babylon for real. This time he will not try to flee. And as for Magna, he has a pretty broken ability because he can stop the time, and we will abuse this on this boss very heavily to stop the time and then use the Wind Guardian summon to deal damage to the boss. Because as you can see, Babylon teleports around, so being able to stop time means we have a pretty lengthy window where we can just attack him without him trying to get away. And as per usual, there's also a second phase to one of the bigger bosses. And this time we are going to use the Aqua Charge again, which will just decimate the HP of this boss. Also, when this boss turns into a skull, the animation essentially just means he is invulnerable during it. But yeah, that was also a really good fight. And the reward for this is the final and fourth Guardian, the Earth Guardian, which has a very, very useful dash ability and a summon that gives you a shield. So this Guardian is pretty good for the speedrun. And also, just quickly before we leave the stage, in about a second, Gordon will appear, and he will appear and be back for some revenge. Because we are nearing the end of this run in terms of stages, because we are going to the edge of the world, which is close to the demon world, which is where we are heading. So as you saw, Gordon followed us there into the edge of the world. Which means he will also show up in stage 6. And right now you see how big of a jerk Gordon really is, because he is going to stab Magna. But right before Magna is about to die, he will tell us we need to go and fight the Dragon Gods.
Sad.
But maybe this won't be the last time we see Magna. Maybe a bit of foreshadowing here. So in those upcoming screens, we will be using the Earth Summon a lot to give us a shield, just so we can just walk through everything, not worry about having to dodge anything. Also, another thing about the Earth Summon, it's not only giving us a shield, but it also puts us in auto dash mode. So he needs to be very careful about the way he moves in those screens, because it's pretty easy to just bonk on a wall and lose some seconds here and there. And right now we are on our way to pick up the Dragon Gem to destroy a statue that we need, and also pick up a Holy Cup for safety. And I guess while we are trying to get those items, it's a good time for the host to plug some things again.
Sure thing. I did want to mention that the game after this, Golden Sun Dark Dawn, is the last chance to get in on the 3 prizes that are in this prize block. That is a Chrono Cross music box, Octopath Traveler 2 for the Switch, and Pokemon Paldea Evolved Elite Trainer Box from the Pokemon trading card game. So if you are interested in any of those prizes, which you can go see on our tracker, which is linked in the info panels below the stream, and you can go take a look at some photos of those prizes. The Chrono Cross Music Box is one I have myself. It's very nice. It's official merch from Square Enix. And yeah, you got to donate during this run or Golden Sun Dark Dawn in order to get into the drawings for those prizes.
Alright, right there he used the Dragon Gem to destroy the statue, which allows us to continue in the stage. And essentially he picks up one more chest to the right here, which has an elixir. And right there is one of the Dragon Gods, which is called Nevis. But to prove that we are worthy, we gotta fight her first. So we're gonna use the Earth Summon for the shield and just smack it away. Because for some reason this boss is immune to anything else except for the Earth Guardian.
Kind of funny fight.
Yep. And now that we defeated her, she shows us her human form and lends us her abilities, which she joins us as our new partner. And she's also the final partner that we get for this game. So her abilities are essentially she shoots 3 projectiles, 1 straight forward and 2 towards the diagonals. And the SP attack makes her turn into a dragon, and then she just flies along the screen and attacks everything. And we also got a reward in which we got a bigger shield that can block bigger projectiles. And right there we picked up the emblem, which allows us to open another door right here. And right there, when we cast the Guardian, the Earth Guardian, and use the shield, we can also see that we can just walk through the pillars without attacking them. So that saves quite a decent bit of time here in this screen. And also we also pick up another Sage Stone, which and HP refills, just to make our way a bit easier towards the next bosses. Our next goal is to pick up the Black Pearl, which allows us to enter the Demon World. But yeah, first some more use of the Earth Guardian and the shield.
I had to backtrack to make that chest spawn right there.
Oh yeah, sometimes when the screen has too many entities on it, chests might not spawn, so you may want to walk back and forth to make them spawn. And this chest right here has the Black Pearl, which we needed to enter the Demon World. So that's basically it for this stage. We are on our way to the final boss of this stage, which this time is Gordon. We've seen enough of this jerk. It's time to make him pay for what he has done. So yeah, again, most of the bigger bosses of this game have two phases. For this one, in phase 1, we will use the Earth Guardian summon for the shield and just dash to attack. And we will make quick work of Gordon. The second phase, he turns into Super Gordon. Basically, in this world, you grow stronger the more rage you have. And with the defeat, he has basically built up a lot of rage and turns into Super Gordon. It's the same strats again, but the boss can turn into an orb, which means we just have to wait it out if he turns into an orb, because he's not taking damage during that phase. But if he's lucky and makes quick work of it, he can one-cycle it, which... let's pray for that.
Yes.
Yeah, and it did work. Nice. Nice. One cycle on Gordon is
Nice.
RNG dependent, but always feels good if you get it. Alright, off to the 7th stage of this game. Which starts with a bit of lore drop onto you. Basically, Garstein appears and he tells us what happened in the world. So we got the Dispel Potion, we got a lot of things along the way, and he told us that Elixir, the Princess, Sirius the Knight, and Magna the Cyborg have recovered. And we also get the bell from Garstein here, which allows us to switch partners on the fly. But right now we want to use to have Elixir as our partner. Grab some more permanent MP. And basically this stage is all about refights of minor bosses that we have seen, and the first refight is of Karouge. It's essentially the same strats as we've used before. The fights are not too different, except for the arena. Which most of the time the refights end up being easier because the arena is in a more favorable manner than before. And every refight rewards you with some sort of metal that is required to progress. Also, I guess this is a good time to talk about the incentive for this game, which has been met. The incentive is that Spirax can pick up an optional 3rd armor upgrade in the stage, which is possible to be skipped, and he will actually do that.
Yeah, so thanks everyone.
So yeah, the second refight here with Gavaris is just as easy as before.
Only one jump, cool.
That's nice. So the third refight here is for Sarah and Gaza, and maybe, since we've already seen those fights, the host can take over again.
Sure thing. Looks like we've got a $5 donation here from Totagut. Thank you so much for that donation. And another $25 from Anonymous, the old reliable. Every dollar you send in helps Nami. We love to see it. Keep it up.
Alright, so Essentially, for the final boss of the stage, this one is a unique boss again. It's the Mirror, which the Mirror is very intriguing. There's essentially the Mirror that teleports around like Babylon did in the arena, and the Mirror can also spawn a copy of you and some other things. But in fact, you don't have to face the copy of you, but only the Mirror itself. And with how you want to do that is again use the time stop so the Mirror can't flee, and then use the Aqua Charge to deal tons of damage to it. And there we go.
2 cycles,
Nice.
what?
That... nice.
That's the best fight I ever got there. Ever.
Yeah, and with that we are off to the final stage of the game. Stage number 8. Babylon is back because for now we just entered the demon world and everyone is resurrected here. So the first refight is the Dark Dragon again, which we will also use the Flame Summon plus Flame Charge again to make quick work of it. And that looked like a nice Dark Dragon fight.
Yeah, it was good.
So yeah, the refights are here are all just the oh.
Oh.
Oh, sure. Oh. Wait, I don't think he's talking to us, right? Okay, that was weird. I just heard someone talking in here. Either way, this is Super Gordon. I'm just confused
Okay.
right now, I'm sorry.
2 cycle.
Was it only me that heard RPG Limit Break audio talk?
I'm not sure.
Either way, I'm sorry about that. So this was Super Gordon. He basically used Earth Summon Charge Attack plus the Speed Tile here to deal some extra damage. But we're on to the third refight, which is the Emperor again. And we use the Aqua Charge here plus some help from Sirius with his flail to make quick work of it. Alright, that was a clean fight.
Alright. Close to dying
But
now.
yeah,
But that means I'm gonna take a quick death here.
yep.
There we go. To get
Essentially,
some
when you
ammo back.
die, essentially when you die, as I told you in the top center of the screen, you can see his lives. If you die, you basically respawn in the last major area that you entered, which was this very screen, and you get revived with some extra, SP and MP. So sometimes it might be worth it to take a quick death. So for the fourth refight, we're gonna fight Babylon again. And this refight is a bit of a special refight in that it has 2 phases, unlike the other refights that we've seen so far. So for this he will use the Time Stop again and the Wind Guardian summon. Just because he is teleporting all over the place again, being a big jerk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a really big jerk.
Yeah, let me try the fight again.
So yeah, as I said before, taking a death usually only takes the time to run back through that screen that you died in.
Not having the final armor makes things very scary.
Yeah. Actually, skipping the final armor is essentially only worth it if you go for world record attempts, because it makes the run so much safer. You take a lot of damage in those final couple rooms. So yeah, that was the first phase, and for the second phase we're going to use Aqua Charge Dash again and block while standing. And as you see how broken the Damn. But yeah, as you saw there, before he died, the HP bar of the boss drained quite quickly because of how broken Aqua Charge dashing is. And again, for those that weren't here before, maybe, we are not sure, but it feels like the charge attack, the Aqua Charge attack, in combination with the dash, is a bit glitched, because it deals way more damage than it's supposed to. It's by far the strongest attack in the game, by far the strongest dash attack.
I'm kind of lacking SP for time stop here, so this is how I'm trying to deal with Babylon 1. Okay, I'll try this again.
Alright, yep. Yeah, just look at this damage. 3 attacks and the boss is done for. Oh. That's also the risky part
That was
about doing
close.
charge dashes. Yeah, that's the risky part about doing charge dashes. Even though they deal tons of damage, you're pretty vulnerable doing it. Alright, let's show him who's boss this time.
For sure. I got this. Alright. Go again. Full health this time. Oh, okay. I have to wait for him to turn back.
Yeah, again, when he turns into a skull, the animation for turning into a skull and back, he is invincible during those.
Okay.
Alright, nice work.
Fast. Thanks. Yeah, so when he's flying around as a skull, I'm anticipating him to go back, so that's why I couldn't attack right there.
Yep. Alright, off to the final boss of the game, Alcahest. This boss also has 2 phases. The first phase, he will use the time stop again, because you can only hit this boss when it splits apart and reveals the orb inside.
Orb!
Also, this boss has a ton of health compared to every other boss we've seen so far. This boss would be pretty nasty without the time stop ability. It's also RNG dependent. It's not like it opens up every other second, but rather it opens up whenever it wants to. And as you saw right there, it also needs to be in a favorable position, so you
Okay.
will make most of the time stop. Alright. So there are some pity drops, the boss drops on you for the second phase. Now in this phase we will use the Aqua Charge Dash and the Flame Summon all the way. So we need to switch between our summons while we attack the boss. Also, the visuals of this boss are pretty stunning, I have to say.
I also have the healer as my partner now. If anything goes wrong, I might get healed.
Exactly. Yeah, this boss is no joke, for real. If you've played this game, you know how hard this boss is, even with the best armor. Ah, damn! That was so close.
I was only missing 1 bar, so yeah, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah. This boss, on the second phase, it's no joke.
Thank you again to the donors for donating to make this fight harder by making you not pick up the armor.
Yeah. try to get some damage in here. Okay. Should be good. Okay. If you don't
First part.
get Alcahest
Oh.
phase 1 fast enough, it's gonna like just sit there and you're gonna have to wait a lot.
Yeah, the first phase of this fight isn't the bad one. The second one definitely is much, much worse.
For sure. Okay, more lasers. I'm gonna heal right here. Just to make sure I have exactly full health.
So yeah, again, you can change at your will between all of the guardians and the partners.
Time is coming up soon as the health is depleted here.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Need shield.
Ah, and she hops
I'm
away.
gonna need another shield, perhaps. Okay, maybe I won't. But I will pop the shield anyway. And time.
Nice. Congrats.
Yeah, GG.
Thank you. I think the,
So
the
again-
estimate was 45, but then again we had the donation incentive as well. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, for reference, this boss is no joke. If you've played this game, you would know. So doing this without the armor is quite difficult.
oh. Yeah,
He
that
also
was
didn't
very
pick up
scary.
most of the he also didn't pick up most of the permanent HP upgrades that are hidden along the stages.
Yeah, there are a few slow ones. But yeah, that is Alcahest for Super Famicom. I think, yeah, the Alcahest is destroyed for now. Comes back in 5,000 years, I think is the story. And the Guardians are once again gone, to be found next time. And yeah, that was a lot of fun, for sure. Thanks, Vaughn, for commentating.
Yeah, thanks for having me here. It was fun.
For sure. So I think, yeah, please enjoy Golden Sun, and thanks again. Enjoy.
Give it up in the chat once again for Spiriax. That was a great run there of Alcahest. If you're just joining, this is RPG Limit Break 2023. We're raising money for NAMI. They have a service called the Helpline Online Knowledge Center, which was visited more than 236,000 times in 2022. And the next year, they hope to expand the helpline to 7 days a week. We're happy to be helping them in that endeavor, and your donations will go a long way to help them realize this goal. For some context, a donation of $30 allows NAMI to provide direct support to 2 help seekers in need. Now my time with you is done. I'll be turning you over to the one and only High Spirits coming up. We've got a short ad break, and then we'll be right back for more RPG action.
Welcome back to RPG Limit Break 2023. Thank you, LM Motaz, for taking over the hosting shift for that last great run of Elkahest. I am High Spirits, and I am back once again to keep the ball rolling for this amazing marathon. And you know what? Let's start off with a couple of donations while we're working on setting up the next thing here. How about $100 from Yakimoto that says RPG Limit Break is back on? Shut up and take my money. You know, that donation total, everyone's looking pretty nice there. You know what would be nicer is another digit. I think we can get that done here. We got a $25 donation from Patton that says you guys are doing great work here, both with the runner's skill of gaming and for the spreading the word about mental illness. Thank you all for putting RPG Limit Break together year after year. We got a $10 donation from Benny Omega. It says, first time donating to RPG Limit Break. Excited for the Golden Sun Dark Dawn. I love the franchise and need the sequel to the sequel. I'm always craving for some Golden Sun. Oh, aren't we all? I love the series. We still got some time before the upcoming Golden Sun Dark Dawn run by Legrand Grand. We do have one naming incentive, no naming bid war still going on. If you would like to name Matt, I need to get those donations in. Right now, Lapid is winning with $115, but Goonie is right behind with $100, and several other options a little bit farther behind. So if you want to get those last minute donations in for that, get it done now. And we got a whole handful of other donations we can go through here. We got a $5 anonymous who just says, keep up all the stellar work. We got another $100 anonymous donation. Thank you very much for your generosity. That went towards the Rainbow Chimera, but Chaos Chimera incentive for Golden Sun, which has been met, by the way. So we are going to enjoy a lot of colors in the Chaos Chimera fight. And a bit more of that donation also went towards the Blindfolded Proudclad for the Final Fantasy XIII run much later in the week. You know, we do have a lot of incentives and a lot of runs to go still coming up, especially today. We still have incentives for, we still got to reach a Blindfolded Proudclad fight in Final Fantasy XIII. I mean, the Proudclad fight, as someone who played the game recently, is really difficult. I struggled on that fight. I can't imagine what it's like blindfolded, so that would be amazing. Yes, forgive me, the Final Fantasy XIII run is later today. Oops, I slipped. All right, while we are still setting up the next run, we're going to send it over to an interview with Cutie Roo and our next runner, Legrand Grand.
Why, hello, everybody. My name is Cutie Roo SR, and I am here with Le Grand Grand, and we are here for our Golden Sun, Dark Sun interview, or Dark Dawn interview.
I get it. It's the morning.
It's very sunny. But yeah, so Le Grand Grand, I actually have a few questions for you regarding the community with Golden Sun. How is the community like with the speedrunning? How did you get involved, and what is it like working with them?
It's a very, very lovely community. When I just starting running Golden Sun 1, it was like a really long time ago. There was about like 3 or 4 people, maybe like only 3 people, including me. So there weren't really that many people. And nowadays, because of the no save and quit categories for Golden Sun 1 and Golden Sun 2, there is so many people around. They're all so friendly, and yeah, it's very nice. And Golden Sun 3 also took a while to have actual people running the game and playing around it. And that was mostly thanks to all the new techs that came out, like I think it was 2 years ago at this point, during what we called DDR. You'll get to know more about it during the run, I guess. But it was a lovely event and really interesting to talk about that history of how the run evolved and went from 7 hours to only like just under 4 hours just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, and my understanding that there was like 3 routes that were happening at once at one point, and then it became like a friendly competition that eventually helped the 7 hours go down.
Yeah, that was a really interesting moment. Like basically, like a lot of glitches that we did just completely broke down the way the game was working. Up until now, it was just a straight line. You know, just doing everything glitchless all the way through. And then we managed to just break everything and be able to go pretty much everywhere we wanted at any point in the game. So, like at some point, we had some different philosophies regarding what we wanted to do. We had one route, which was Alice Veda by Plexa, my route, which was No Detour, and another route, which was named Gin Heist, which was supported by Valisa and Regnetrace. All lovely community members that participated in DDR. There was also Fulgur, which I didn't mention, who was also part of the glitching and figuring out and sciencing all the glitches that were found in about only 2 months, really. Like we went from 7 hours to around 4 hours 30 in 2 months. That was really insane. And so yeah, all those different routes were basically competing to see which one was going to be the fastest. And so it was like, okay, so this runner is doing it this way. I can try and do it this way, so that way I'm staying ahead and all that kind of stuff. And that actually led to more discoveries, which was actually really amazing.
Well, speaking of those discoveries, a lot of them are actually going to be showcased in the run that you're going to show after our interview. And what are all these glitches and tricks? Because I know that is what changed the 7 hours.
So the very, very first glitch that was found by Plexa after Valisa messed around and found other out of bound in the overworld. It's called Miracle Bridge, and really allows us to go out of bound in the overworld pretty much from anywhere. And the main reason this happens, because that, like, it's a very, very interesting glitch, is because you know, the game you can move around with a D-pad. But you can also move around with a stylus. And because of that, that means that you've got a 360-degree angle control when you move around. And that means that if you put yourself in the right position and put your stylus in the right position as well, you get to clip out of bound, which is really interesting. So that's a first glitch that basically allowed us to go anywhere. The second big one was Minoclip, which was found by Valisa. Again, great community member. She found a lot of stuff, and that allowed us to skip a lot of content inside dungeons. So we've got skips in the overworld, and we've got skips in the dungeon. So there is a never-ending amount of tricks throughout the run, which is going to be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because I have to say that it was very interesting because I love the series. But the speed run is just very different. And my understanding was it used to be more of a linear speed run until these glitches and tricks were found. And so it really changed the whole dynamic of the game and the speed run altogether. And it's wonderful to see that the development from the community and being together and being collaborative and working together, it was really, really cool to just hear about and watch
Yeah.
and listen. But yeah, I appreciate with everything like that. But it also the most important thing about the speedrun are the gens, and as well as like the synergy and how that works. Because the gens are what you use in the battles, but the synergy is what you use to solve the problem, like the puzzle problems. So in order to get ahead, but it's kind of interesting how the gens are the majority of them, and that is going to be definitely showcased in the speedrun, and you're going to see that with most of the fighting. You're going to barely see synergy. And to clarify what synergy is, it's kind of like the magic in the game, where the gens are the summoning, like you're summoning these cute little creatures that have amazing power. So if you want to explain further what gens do and the synergy, you know way more than me.
So gens are cute little friends that you can gather around when you go on your adventures. Like you're going to see a little creator, gremlin, I don't know, whatever, that's going to look cute. You've got 4 different elements. You've got Venus, which is earth, Mercury, which is water, Jupiter, which is wind, and Mars, which that's the one I missed, which is fire. And so you've got all these kinds of gens moving around in the overworld, in the dungeons, in the towns. And so we're going to collect a lot of them in order to actually manage to defeat the final boss and bosses. Because the way it works is gens are going to, if they're set, they're going to give you better stats and better classes. That's mostly how you're going to get better at fights. You're not going to be that much better with levels. So gens are helping you get your stats, but if you use them in battle, they're going to be on standby, and you're after you use them, and each gen have a different effect. So, for example, ground, which is going to be one of the most interesting gen in the run, is going to allow us to prevent an enemy from moving once during a battle. So, say if he has 2 moves, he's only going to be able to use one move, and if it only has 1 move, then well, he skips his turn. And so when gens are on standby, you can use them all together to do what's called a summon. So it's going to be a giant attack that's going to deal a lot of damage to the enemies. And we're basically going to mostly use that in order to actually defeat enemies and DPS them down. While we're going to use gens in order to build up our defenses and stay alive throughout the fights, because otherwise we would just get one shot.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to your run. Thank you for talking with me about Golden Sun. I almost said Dark Sun again.
Oh no!
But yeah, so this concludes our interview. Thank you for coming and talking with
having
me.
me.
And we will get back to High Spirits, and we're ready to see your run. Stay tuned, and definitely this is a run to watch.
Thank you, Cutie Roo and Legrand Grand for that interview. Yes, coming up shortly will be Legrand Grand's run. But before that, hey, how about a couple more donations? Asonius with the $100 says, love the cause and love the Golden Sun. Keep up the great work. Want to throw out some shout outs, some thanks to some donations without some comments, which is all good. Zanitario with dropping $25. Wearing Finn, $50 donation. Thank you all for your generosity. Mathwin with a $10 donation also. No comments, but we appreciate you. We got a $15 donation from Lucas A. Says, I have to donate every year as I love Nami. Shoutouts to my wonderful wife and my son as they tolerate me watching RPG Limit Break non-stop this week. Me too, actually. The donation is to sacrificing Yamcha in The Legend of Super Saiyan Dragon Ball Z. Speaking of RPG Limit Break 2023, who are we? That's a good question. We're here raising money for NAMI, of course, the National Alliance on Mental Illness. RPG Limit Break 2023 is coming to you from Salt Lake City in Utah. And yeah, we're here to support a great cause because, you know, NAMI organization has been around since 1979 as a grassroots advocacy organization by a group of parents whose children suffered with serious mental illness. And that's what NAMI has maintained as their focus. As someone who does have some suffering from some mental illnesses, I'll tell you one thing. There is no greater therapy for myself especially than hanging out with all of you great people watching and all of my friends here at this event. Nothing but love for everyone. We are coming up here shortly on our run. This is your last chance if you want to hurry up and get that donation in for naming Matt. Don't think you got much time left on that. You know, it takes a lot of people to put together this great event. So you know what? I'm gonna throw out some love to a couple of places actually helping us out also, and that's our foreign language restreams. You can see you can watch this in both French at Le French Restream, twitch.tv/Le French Restream, and the Japanese restream is also helping us at twitch.tv/Japanese_restream. Thank you for helping us out and spreading the love and the word all across the world. We got a couple more donations here. $25 anonymous. No comment, but thank you, because you know I am someone who really deeply appreciates Anonymous. They are a wonderful donor and someone I do love hearing from every event. And Nyla Namia gave a $25 donation. Keep up the amazing work, runners. Doing great work for a great charity. Y'all are awesome. No, you are awesome. Thank you. So I would like to let everyone know that we are now over $10,000 in under 24 hours for Nami. Thank you all very much. Thanks to a $50 donation from Dark Enigma. It says good cause and all so lovely people making the event so special every year. Therefore, have some money. Cheers. No, if you do donate to the RPG Limit Break and Nami this year, you do have a chance to win some awesome prizes. We got going on right now during this run of Golden Sun Dark Dawn. A $5 minimum donation can get you in for a Chrono Cross music box. A minimum $10 donation can get you in for both the Octopath Traveler 2 for the Switch and the Pokemon Paldea Evolved Elite Trainer Box. It's $10 minimum donations for those. And those prizes go through the end of this next run coming up. But also, if you give a $100 in cumulative in donations, that means a little bit here, a little bit now, or all of it here and more of it later, you get entered for 2 more prizes. The first, which runs through the Exile run, is the red 3DS with a capture card installed. Now let me tell you, as someone who has had a capture card installed on their 3DS for a long time, woo, that is really hard to get. That is an awesome prize that Lisa Rocks has given us. And I would get in on that because that's only going to be there for half the marathon. Those are hard to find. There's not many people that do that work anymore. Also, if you give $100 cumulative donations throughout the entire marathon, you get put into the chance to win the Steam Deck, the 256 gigabyte model. Woo, the big model of it. Everyone is saying the Steam Deck is hot and amazing, and I would be pretty jealous, jelly if I didn't win that. Just putting that out there. We had a $10 donation from Racodactylus. Hey there, Racco. Oh man, I'm ready for day 2 of this 7-week RPG limit break. Yeah. Apparently the marathon has going on 7 weeks now. I'm sure Bob back there is having fun with that. Let's go! Let's go, Golden Sun hype. You know, we couldn't bring up RPG Limit Break without bringing up another name too. And that's obviously the Yeti! I am pretty sure just about everyone in this room owns or is wearing a Yeti shirt right now. But the Yeti is a partner bringing us, once again, t-shirts for this event. In fact, they've made 6 awesome, unique t-shirts that you can pick up now. Just head over to theyeti.com/RPG Limit Break if you are interested. That is the Yeti, THEYETEE.com/RPGLB. In fact, I'm sure there's a link in chat that'll get you there even faster. We got another $100 from Anonymous, our favorite. This one went towards the swimsuits in Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Yes, we have lots of incentives still to come throughout the entire marathon. We got a lot of love that still needs to be shown for some of these runs later today. We still need, actually, we have met the Proudclad incentive. We got a voice language bid war for Final Fantasy XIII later today. We have the Choose the Heroic Sacrifice in Dragon Ball Z. Right now, Yamcha has got a little bit of love at 15 with Chiatsu at 5, but lots of time and lots of options. Who is going to be the heroic sacrifice? Later tonight, we got the Choose the Sprite for Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Right now, Mog is in the lead with $135, with Rydia not too far behind at $70. And you could still name Benjamin. We got 2 options to name Benjamin. Right now, Mighty B has a mighty big lead at $1,710. With Mirene in a close second with 55.